Hello Satanists, today we will be going through the Ghost Iceberg. This particular one was made by me with some additions from Reddit user Delta2's chart. Link is in the description to view their full one. It's very good. For this iceberg I wanted to focus more on the weird information around Ghost rather than the basics, though the top tiers have some basic info to pad it out and just in case someone not familiar with the band ends up here. Let's get started. Tier 1. Tobias Forge. Tobias Gen Forge is the creator, main songwriter and vocalist for Ghost. He was born on the 3rd of March, 1981. He has worked in music for decades in different bands, with Ghost being his most successful effort. He lives in his home country of Sweden with his wife and twin children. Band lore. The band Ghost, being a theatrical band, has a storyline that spans across different forms of media. The bare-bones storyline so far is as follows. A satanic church of most likely Italian origin wants to take over the world. They sought to do this by creating a heavy metal band to spread its gospel satanic panic style. The leader of the church, known as Papa Emeritus, sings in the band and is accompanied by instrumentalists known as ghouls. The Ghost project is overseen by Sister Imperator, a higher up in the church. MySpace. Ghost was one of many bands to start out on MySpace. They would reply to fans and haters and upload their 4-track demo. Thankfully the demo was not lost when the MySpace migrated their servers. This is most likely because there are rare cassettes of the demo, or due to it being downloaded. Box sets. Both Meliora and Prequel have special limited edition box sets, consisting of the original album, exclusive music and other goodies. Meliora's was called Meliora Redux, and is the only one so far to have a CD counterpart and only had 5,000 copies made. Prequel's was called Prequel Exalted and has 2 versions, the Black US edition, and the Red Scandinavian edition, each having different bonuses. Each version had 1,000 copies each. Due to scarcity, the value of these box sets have skyrocketed on the second-hand market. So it turns out there is also a Infestissumum Redux. It was only on CD and followed the same format as its Meliora counterpart. Being a hardcover book and CDs, it only has 3,000 copies made. Zenith. Zenith is the exclusive track found on Meliora Redux. It can be found on Spotify in some countries, but has never been sold outside of Meliora Redux. It is also the final release that was co-written by Martin Persona. Ghost BC. For a small time during the Infestissumum era, Ghost had to be called Ghost BC in America due to another band being called Ghost. They don't need to do this anymore. Most pressings still have the BC. It depends on what pressing you buy, where you buy them from and where you live. Ghouls. Ghouls are the name given to the instrumentalists. Prior to Popestar they were always known as Omega, Alpha, Water, Air and Earth, with varying people playing. During the Meliora Popestar era, there were major lineup reshuffling and formal nicknames were no longer used. Instead all were just called Ghoul. Though fans now give them unofficial names. Special Ghoul. Special Ghoul is the name given to the ghoul who would conduct press and interviews prior to the unmasking of the band. This was just Tobias in a ghoul outfit. Sadly, since Tobias now does presses himself, we have not seen Special since Popestar. Lawsuit. During the Papa 3 era, after Martin Persona left, the other players wanted a pay rise. They fought with Tobias about this, threatening to walk off the current tour. When Tobias finally said yes, he drew up a new contract, where they'd get more money, but would be let go after a certain date, all signed, not reading the contract in full. After being kicked out, they sued Tobias to gain access to financial records, claiming they are owed more than they got. Tobias proved that he owns the band. The court ruled the ghouls were not entitled to more than they got, and after some appeals on both sides, the lawsuit is finally complete in 2020. Metallica Blacklist. In 2021, Ghost was featured on the Metallica Blacklist, a 50+ track tribute album to celebrate the Black Album's 30th anniversary. The band covered Enter Sandman, a song they have covered live once before. By request of the band. Lost Faith live video. For a long while, there was a cinematic live video of the song Faith. Fans were excited at the idea of finally getting a concert DVD, but one day it was made unavailable with no explanation. There are mirrors of it online. Halloween Kills. Ghost was given the opportunity to sing the end credits song for the 2021 film Halloween Kills. The song is called Hunter's Moon. It has two versions, the single version and the film version, which is slightly altered. The single version has a music video. Hunter's Moon will also be on Ghost's fifth album, Impera. Livestream. Prior to the release of Hunter's Moon, a livestream appeared on the official Ghost website and YouTube channel. This livestream lasted almost a week and showed a loop of the LA skyline. Every 24 hours a small video would be cut into the loop. This ended up being a promotion of Hunter's Moon. The clips coming from the music video and the loop most likely a clue to the special viewing of Halloween Kills for Ghost fans at the Chinese theater. Body and Blood. When Papa 3 performed Body and Blood, he began with a small monologue about singing a song about drinking blood and eating flesh. Then Sisters of Sin appeared to give out wine and wafers during the song, mimicking the Holy Communion, as the song is a mockery of that act. Papa 3 had to alter the monologue later on to tell the audience to not touch the sisters, insinuating that people had been groping their privates and licking their fingers.
Within a second or two, I will condemn these beautiful women, nuns, into the so-called pit here in front of the stage. Yes. So that's when we are getting physical. But you know what? The thing is, it's not what you think, you perverted man. No, it's not physical in that way. So it's very important that your manners is there, so no very important. Manners. And do not lick their fingers. Because you see, this physical element, this little physical treat that you will be granted is symbolic. Symbolism. Symbolism is key. So, I know you have a little way to go all that way down to the beach. So, go to George and he will show you the way.
This practice was only done during Papa 3's era. So this was actually also done during Papa 2's era as well. There just isn't much video of it due to Ghost not breaking into the mainstream until Papa 3.
But you have to behave. Come in. Give it up for the Sisters of Sin, eh? And again, behave. This is a song about a little boy.
Papa 3 sex talk. Before performing Monstrance Clock, Papa would sit down and talk about courting and having sex with someone, saying that this concert was a kind of date that now the audience and Papa would have sex and climax. While Papa started out talking about a man and woman having sex, it was later changed to just two people.
You know, when one person meets another person, sometimes it's just unavoidable. They will eventually.
Nile in concert. During Copia's era, when Miasma is played, Papa Nile would appear to play the sax solo, before stumbling away. The part was played by Swiss Ghoul in a full head mask, sunglasses, and gloves. The only time the chapter actor did the solo was the final gig named Death, where he died after finishing the solo. Tier 2. The twins. The twins that appear in multiple chapters, usually accompanying Nile, are Tobias's twin children.
Don't go. Play with us. Retro!
It's gotta be a gas leak.
The Sun recorded the speaking parts in Ghost's cover of Enter Sandman. Sisters of Sin. Sisters of Sin is the name given to the female nuns that appear on stage during Body and Blood, or as extras for events. They all don a stereotypical nun outfit. Papaganda. Papaganda was a short-form documentary series on YouTube made by Ghost and Noisy. The episodes followed Papa 2 around and talked about his life as Papa. It also gave us an intimate look at the character, revealing that he is a party boy and a whore. More information will be talked about later in the Iceberg. Unmade music videos. There has been a few music videos Tobias wanted to make. This includes Faith, Life Eternal, Elizabeth, Body and Blood, and most likely others. The reason why these videos haven't been made is money. Other bands. I explained this in detail in an older video, but there are many bands with some relation to Ghost. Main bands being Repugnant, MCC, Subvision, The Great Discord and Priest. I'll leave a link to my video about them if you are interested in learning about them. Core crew. Ghost has kept its road crew for a long time. Some have become staples in the fanbase and love to interact with the fans. Protests. In November 2018, a Texas pastor found out about the band. Out of his duty as a Christian, he wanted to know why they were allowed to play at the stadium and hosted prayers in front of the venue. Tobias talked about the issue later on, saying the pastor was poorly informed about Ghost.
Tonight, I'm Jay Hendricks. Topping our news, something that many of you are talking about. If you've been driving along 191 earlier tonight past the Wagner Noel, you might have noticed a group of citizens standing under the brightly lit sign. Concerned community members were praying over the community after learning that a Swedish rock band that they say has satanic influences is playing a concert there next week. CBS 7's Gianni Windall was at that meeting today and brings us a closer look at this story.
We're not here to protest. We're just simply here to pray, to worship God, to pray His protection, to plead the blood of Christ over our community. This kind of ban will bring spiritual influences into this area. We're concerned about it because we believe the devil is real, just as we believe God is real.
Not protesting the band or the Wagner Noel, but praying against spiritual influences that they say are as dark as the patch of dirt they were moved to when their prayer meeting started.
They describe themselves as a worship band for Satan. Is I think quite shocking probably to most of the citizens of the Permian Basin. And they cover their faces with masks that look like devils in their concerts, and they are all about worshiping and bringing glory to Satan.
They reached out to the Wagner Noel, but no response. CBS 7 did too, and received a statement that says, in part, the venue offers a range of musical talent for varying audiences, and choose popular bands. In Midland, Gianni Windall, CBS 7 News.
Movie references. There are hundreds of movie references in Ghost. This guide from Reddit user Salted Ducks shows the main ones found on the music artworks, but references can be found in chapter videos and music videos as well. Prime examples being Chapter 7, New World Retro, and From the Pinnacle to the Pit. Sister Imperator Twitter account. @Sister Imperator is a popular fan account that interacts with the fanbase of Sister Imperator. They share art, fan covers, and are frankly a ray of positivity in the fanbase. Papa 3 dragged off stage. At the end of the Pope Star Tour in 2017, while Monstrance Clock was playing, two men came to drag Papa 3 off the stage. This would mark the beginning of Era 4, as it introduced Papa Nile and made mention of the Middle Ages, a nod to the plague themes in prequel. I have a hole in my shoe. A funny moment from Papa 3's Monstrance Clock monologue. He explained to an audience member that due to his dancing he had a hole in his shoe, but that it was okay because he went out and bought new ones.
You want to see something funny? I have a hole in my shoe right there. And that is because I'm spinning on my shoes like that. But I bought new ones today, so this is the last night I'm using my shoes. In case you wonder why there is a hole in my shoe.
Papa 3's incorrect skull paint. When Papa 3 debuted on the 3rd of June 2015, his skull paint was very different to the one we know and love. That is because according to fandom rumors the mask makers put Papa 2's skull paint on the mask. It wasn't able to be fixed in time for the show, so it had to be worn. Dracopia, a nickname given to Copia when he wears his little cape on stage. There is now a lot of Vampire Copia fanfic and fan art. Papa 4's plastic surgery. In Chapter 9, to my concern, Papa sports a different appearance, stating he had plastic surgery. They most likely had to alter the mask to make it sit better on Tobias's face without triggering his claustrophobia, using plastic surgery as an in-universe reason as to why it looks so different from a final gig named Death. Cowbell Ghoul. Cowbell was a ghoul during Era 3 that would turn up on stage and play a cowbell during the song Ritual for no other reason than for the lols. Dildo and butt plug set. In 2013 during Era 2, they sold the Ghost Phallus Mortuus Ritual box set, which included a shirt, a Bible box, a divorce paper, a Ghost BC charm and a butt plug and dildo. The butt plug is gold with the logo on top and the dildo is black with Papa 2 as the head. It is no longer for sale. They did a re-release of the dildo in 2017. It was now gold and came in a felt bag. It is also no longer for sale. And that is tier 1 and 2 complete. I know this was mostly basic information, but we will be getting to weirder stuff the deeper we go, because it gets weirder than a dildo and butt plug set.